Have you ever considered the power of your words and thoughts in shaping your reality? This is the premise of The Four Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. Imagine a world where your thoughts, your words, your actions are all guided by four simple yet profound agreements. These agreements are the brainchild of Don Miguel Ruiz, a spiritual teacher and author, whose work has touched the lives of millions. His book, The Four Agreements, is a beacon of wisdom, a guide to personal freedom, and a testament to the transformative power of authenticity. Don Miguel Ruiz, hailing from a lineage of Toltec wisdom, distilled ancient teachings into four fundamental principles. These principles, or agreements as he calls them, are designed to break the societal programming that limits our potential and prevents us from embracing our true selves. The book's central theme revolves around personal freedom, a freedom that liberates us from the shackles of societal expectations and allows us to live authentically. It's about shedding the layers of conditioning that have been imposed upon us since birth and reclaiming our innate power and potential. The four agreements are simple. Be impeccable with your word, don't take anything personally, don't make assumptions, and always do your best. Simple, yes. But don't let their simplicity fool you. The power they hold, when truly understood and implemented, can create profound shifts in your life. These agreements serve as a compass, guiding us towards a life of authenticity, freedom, and personal fulfillment. Each agreement, when embraced, can peel back the layers of societal conditioning, revealing our true nature and enabling us to live in harmony with ourselves and the world around us. Remember, these aren't just passive words to be read and forgotten. They are active principles to be lived, experienced, and embodied. They are a call to action, an invitation to embark on a journey towards personal freedom and authenticity. In the next few scenes, we delve into each of these four agreements separately, exploring their profound impact on our lives. The first agreement prompts us to be impeccable with our words, but what does that involve? Now let's delve into the power and significance of this agreement. Words are more than mere utterances. They hold immense power. They are the tools we use to express our thoughts, desires, and emotions. They are the bridge that connects us to the world and the people around us. Words can create, and unfortunately, they can also destroy. Think about the speeches of influential leaders like Martin Luther King Jr. His "I Have a Dream" speech still resonates with us today, doesn't it? His words became a beacon of hope and ignited a movement for civil rights. It was not just what he said, but how he said it. His words were chosen with precision, with truth, with love, and with integrity. They were, in essence, impeccable. So what does it mean to be impeccable with your word? It means to speak with integrity. It means to say what you mean and mean what you say. It means to use your words in the direction of truth and love. It's about being honest, not only with others, but with ourselves. Often we are our own worst critics, and the words we use to describe ourselves can be far from impeccable. How often have you belittled yourself, doubted your abilities, or criticized your efforts? These words too hold power, and they can harm us more than we realize. On the other hand, imagine the strength and confidence you feel when you speak positively about yourself, when you acknowledge your abilities, and when you celebrate your achievements. These words can uplift and motivate. They can inspire change and drive action. They can, quite literally, change your world. Being impeccable with your words also means avoiding gossip and harmful speech. It's about understanding that every word you utter has an impact. It's like throwing a pebble into a pond. The ripples it creates spread far and wide, affecting everything in their path. Your words can either be that pebble that causes waves of positivity, understanding, and love, or they can cause waves of harm, misunderstanding, and conflict. Remember, words are not just sounds or written symbols. They are a reflection of our thoughts, our beliefs, our values. They are a representation of who we are. And so, being impeccable with our words is about being true to ourselves. It's about speaking in a way that aligns with our integrity and our values. It's about using our words to create a positive impact on the world around us. So, let's take a step back and reflect on how we use our words. Are we being impeccable with them? Are we using them to build or destroy? Are we using them in the direction of truth and love? Remember, our words directly influence the world around us, so let's choose them wisely. The second agreement advises us not to take anything personally. Sounds simple, right? But it's easier said than done. The world is a stage, and we're all actors playing our parts. However, it's easy to forget that we're not the only ones on stage. Other actors play their roles, influenced by their scripts, their moods, and their perspectives. Often their actions and words are a reflection of their internal state, not a critique of our performance. When someone insults us or criticizes us, it's instinctive to feel hurt, to take it personally. But this second agreement urges us to resist this instinct. Why? Because what people say about us is more about them than it is about us. Their words reflect their mindset, their beliefs, their biases. Let's consider Oprah Winfrey, a name synonymous with success. Today, she's celebrated worldwide for her contributions to media and philanthropy. But her journey to the top was far from smooth. She faced criticism and rejection at every turn. People doubted her abilities, questioned her worth, and belittled her dreams. Now, imagine if Oprah had taken all this negativity to heart, if she had allowed the opinions of others to define her self-worth. Would she be where she is today? Unlikely. But Oprah chose to follow the second agreement. She didn't take the criticisms personally. She knew that her worth was not defined by others' opinions, but by her actions, her perseverance, and her belief in herself. She did not allow the negativity to break her. Instead, she used it to fuel her journey to success. This is the power of the second agreement, the power to remain unaffected by the opinions and actions of others. Of course, this doesn't mean we should ignore constructive criticism or feedback. These can be valuable tools for self-improvement, but it's crucial to distinguish between constructive criticism and malicious negativity. Constructive criticism is like a roadmap, guiding us on our journey to improvement. In contrast, negativity is like a roadblock, halting our progress and diminishing our self-worth. The second agreement helps us navigate through this, ensuring we use the map but bypass the roadblock. Remember, we cannot control the actions and words of others, but we can control how we react to them. We can choose not to take them personally. By following this agreement, we free ourselves from the burden of others' opinions. We learn to value ourselves not by how others see us, but by how we see ourselves. We become immune to the negativity around us, preserving our peace of mind and protecting our self-esteem. The second agreement is a shield, protecting us from the arrows of negativity. When we don't take things personally, we can focus on our path, undistracted by the noise around us. By not taking things personally, we can remain unaffected by the negative energy around us. So let's don this shield and continue our journey, stronger and more resilient than before. The third agreement is, don't make assumptions. How often do we make assumptions and end up in misunderstandings? We're all guilty of it. We assume we know what others are thinking or feeling. We believe we understand their intentions or motivations. And yet, more often than not, these assumptions are the root of many conflicts and stressors in our lives. Imagine you're walking down the street and you see an old friend. You wave and call out to them, but they don't respond. You might immediately assume they're ignoring you, that they're upset with you for some unknown reason. Your mood sours. You spend the rest of the day stewing over this perceived slight. But what if they simply didn't see you? What if they were lost in their own thoughts or distracted? Your entire day has been clouded by an assumption that may not have been true at all. What if we could eliminate these unnecessary conflicts and misunderstandings? What if we could reduce the stress in our lives by simply not making assumptions? It sounds like a tall order, but it's not impossible. It starts with clear communication. Let's consider the story of Elon Musk, the visionary behind Tesla and SpaceX. He's known for his relentless pursuit of innovation and his commitment to clear communication. In his companies, he encourages his employees to ask questions, to seek clarity, to avoid making assumptions. He understands that assumptions can lead to mistakes, misunderstandings, and inefficiencies. Instead, he promotes a culture of curiosity and open dialogue. If an employee doesn't understand something, they're encouraged to ask questions until they do. If there's a disagreement, they're encouraged to discuss it openly and honestly. This approach fosters a culture of understanding and mutual respect. It minimizes the chance for miscommunication and misunderstandings, and it all starts with not making assumptions. Now you might be thinking, that's great for Elon Musk, but how does it apply to me? Well, it starts with being aware of your own assumptions. When you catch yourself making an assumption, pause. Ask yourself, is this assumption based on fact, or is it just my interpretation? Then seek clarity, ask questions, open a dialogue. Instead of assuming your friend is upset with you, you could simply ask them, "Hey, I noticed you didn't respond when I called out to you earlier. Is everything okay?" This approach can prevent misunderstandings and unnecessary stress. In conclusion, the third agreement, don't make assumptions, encourages us to seek clarity and open communication. It reminds us that our assumptions are often the root of unnecessary conflicts and stressors in our lives. And it challenges us to be curious, to ask questions, to seek understanding. So, let's strive for clear communication, ask questions, and avoid making assumptions. The final agreement is, always do your best. But what does your best really mean? Imagine a day when you're feeling on top of the world. You're brimming with energy, ideas are flowing, and everything you touch seems to turn to gold. That's you at your best. But then, there's another day when you're not feeling so great. You're tired, uninspired, and even the simplest tasks feel like a mountain, but that's also you at your best. Seems confusing, right? Well, it's not. Doing your best doesn't mean you have to be perfect. It doesn't mean you have to outperform everyone else. It simply means putting in your best effort given the circumstances. It means showing up, even when it's hard. It means pushing through even when you're tired. It means being present even when it's easier to check out. Let's look at Serena Williams, one of the greatest tennis players of all time. She didn't become a champion overnight. She had days of intense training, days of defeat, days of injury, and days of victory. But through it all, she always did her best. Even when her best was just showing up to practice after a tough loss. Even when her best was playing through the pain of an injury. Even when her best was picking up her racket after a long break. She understood that her best would vary from day to day, and that's okay. See, our best is not static. It's dynamic, changing with each day, each moment, and each situation. It's influenced by our physical health, our mental state, our emotional well-being, and so much more. But the key is, no matter what, always strive to do the best you can in that moment. Doing your best also means being kind to yourself. It means not judging yourself harshly when your best isn't as good as it was yesterday. It means not berating yourself when your best isn't as good as someone else's. It means accepting that your best is good enough, right here, right now. Doing your best is not about the end result, but about the process. It's about the effort you put in, the resilience you show, the attitude you bring. It's about the small victories, like finishing a task you've been procrastinating on or pushing through a tough workout. It's about the big victories, like achieving a personal goal or overcoming a major obstacle. Doing your best is about growth, learning, and improvement. It's about pushing your boundaries, expanding your comfort zone, and reaching for your potential. It's about showing up for yourself every single day. When we do our best, we live without regrets and self-judgment. Now that's a life worth living. Before we wrap up, if you've found value in this video, do subscribe and hit the notification button to continue on this journey of self-discovery and growth. Let's look back briefly at the wisdom we've explored today. The 4 Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz, each a stepping stone on the path to personal freedom and self-awareness. Being impeccable with your word, not taking anything personally, not making assumptions, and always doing your best. Each agreement, a pillar of strength, guiding us towards a life of authenticity and integrity. These are not merely words, they are powerful tools for transformation. Tools that can lead us to stop judging ourselves harshly and start practicing a life of compassion and understanding. As Don Miguel Ruiz said, the four agreements are a tool for transformation, leading you to stop judging, mainly yourself, and to start practicing another way of life. Share this video with someone who you think can benefit from these agreements. Let's help each other grow.